There's the bag that held the whole loaf of bread that we just showed on our live about, 12 hours ago. There's the guilty dog. The guilty, sick dog. And there's the $845 vet bill. Are you proud of yourself? How you feeling now? Get some rest, little buddy. Got a whole loaf of bread in your stomach. That was the last time we had to spend big money on something Eddie did. See if you guys can figure out what he did this time.
Oh, yes. Love stinks, guys. Love stinks.
Oh, it stinks to high hell.
Love stinks.
Burns your eyes, it stinks so bad.
Oh, my God. Did it ever stink? Man, I have that song going through my Jay Giles band. Love stinks. Yep. Yeah. Love stinks. Love stinks.
So things seem to happen after our show. And this happened Sunday evening.
No, it did not happen.
Was that Sunday evening?
Oh, it was Monday. Monday evening. I had just completed packing all the whatnot shipments. I was sitting on the couch. Wasn't planning to get off that couch again until it was time for bed.
Nope, she was sitting on the couch, had her phone in her hand, playing on her phone.
Yeah, I was definitely relaxing.
Sir Edward is standing by the back door like he wants to go outside, and it's dark out. So, he probably has to go out for his evening pee. And I didn't think anything of it, and I made the mistake of opening the door and inviting him to go outside, which he did. Shortly after,
we hear him
barking
and
barking. And then we smelled something. So I go outside.
Love stinks.
And he's out there. He's not barking anymore. He's like doing this, and he's trying to rub his eyes. And my eyes are burning.
My eyes started to burn. I was sitting on the couch.
And I had the glass door shut between the living room and the bathroom that we let him into.
The patio room, we call it.
He comes running into the room and starts rubbing himself on the carpet.
In the patio room.
Mm-hmm. This is wool. Mm-hmm. This is wool carpet.
Mm-hmm. Ding 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 ding. James Francis.
Yeah. I wouldn't say he got a skunk. I'd say a skunk got him.
Skunk got him, guys. He got skunked. Oh, my goodness gracious.
So she gets on her phone and starts looking for the best way to get skunk smell off a dog.
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting there thinking, no. I'm tired. My back is sore. My legs are sore. I'm tired. No. And then you look at me and I look at you.
I have to tear the air machine. We've got an air machine, but we spent a bunch of money on. It's a single plate ozone maker, and it needed cleaned out. So I started working on that.
And I jumped on my phone to see what concoction I could create to help deal with this.
And luckily, we happen to have hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and Dawn dishwashing soap.
Right. The concoction was 3 parts of 3% hydrogen peroxide, 1 part baking soda, and a teaspoon of dish soap, which happens to be Dawn. I mixed it all up, and they said, as soon as it starts bubbling, get your dog in the tub and start bathing him in this concoction. So he's a good dog. You tell him to go in the tub, he jumps in the tub. Yep. I had the pleasure of bathing this dog with this stuff, which my hands were starting to break out as I was washing him. I could tell exactly, he got it mostly right on here in the right side of his face.
And that's what he was rubbing on the carpet.
His ear was soaked with something. You know what it is.
Yeah, skunk spray.
Oh, yeah. So I was washing him with this stuff. Oh, And then they said after you get done washing him with the concoction, then wash him regularly. He wasn't going to go for the second bath, but we went into alpha male voice and he jumped right back into the tub because he jumped right out. And I washed him with regular dog soap and water. And that was my participation in trying to do whatever we could to get the smell off of him. The house was, it was everywhere.
The whole neighborhood smelled like it, really.
Yeah, I mean.
But the house, especially that back room, it just, you couldn't even. And what I found out was the heater for down here, I've got a big fan over the heater, and it draws some air between the floorboards from that room. And it pretty much took out the whole basement.
The whole house stunk. The whole stunk.
Furnace was running and just pumping it all through.
Exactly. Mary Dale, thank you. Mary Dale, thank you so much.
So what I did was I knew that an ozone generator would, like an industrial size ozone generator would work. I didn't know how much they cost. I got online. I started trying to rent one the next morning. And I found a place that rents them. And it was like $125 for a week or a month. So you had to put like a $600 and some deposit down on it. I'm like, well, that's an awful lot of money. And I looked and I saw that they sold them as well, but they only, I think they sold them for like $500. It's like $4.99 or something like that. It's like, well, I'll just buy one, but man, I don't want to wait for them to have to ship this thing from God knows where. And I looked, and the company is probably a half hour from here. So I literally just sent him a thing through the thing, and I was actually able to call him and leave a message on the phone. It's like, look, I need to pick this thing up this afternoon. My dog got skunked, rubbed his butt all over the house. The heater picked it up and spread it, and I need this machine right now. And they were really good. They got right back to me. He says, all right, it says you've got the address that's on the website. It'll be sitting on my front porch by 2:00. Just go ahead and pay on the website. So I paid with a credit card. And about an hour after I paid, I got a text from the guy that said, it's sitting on my front porch. Come get it. So I drove to Medina, and it wasn't even all the way to Medina. I drove there and picked it up and brought it home, and we've been using it. It's been, you can't hardly tell now that.
I mean,
the smell's like 99% gone.
Yeah, because first of all, the concoction helped.
Yeah,
it helps.
He doesn't stink like when he walks past you. It doesn't stink. If you put your nose in his fur, you can smell it.
He's got a little like perfume of it. I mean, it's not that bad. He was able to sleep with us that night because we knew that was going to be a torture if he couldn't sleep with us. Yeah, he would have been scratching.
Oh, he'd have been banging at the door and everything.
Oh my God, yeah. So
we got the skunk smell off him enough that it didn't really. He was fine. It's just the rest of the house stunk to high hell.
But yeah, the house still has a hint of it. Not as bad. It's still pretty. It's not that great in the patio room, but you did get the air machine. You cleaned off the plate and got it going in the living room.
So I've got the one for the whole house that runs in the living room. Then I got the blaster that we turn on at night in the back room, and we get up in the morning and shut it off because you're not really supposed to. Yeah. The ozone that this thing puts out, you're not supposed to be in the room. Mm-hmm. So I go in there, I turn it on, I shut the door, I go in there in the morning, I shut it off, and then I open the back door and let it air out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, winter was already getting an F from me because the winter has just been absolutely horrible, and there just seems to be no sign of it in sight. I think all of us are going to be in some kind of vortex of polar next weekend.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're talking about teens and single digits again. Some people are threatening blizzards for them, so I don't know. Stay tuned on that one for everybody here. But you couldn't open the windows, you couldn't do anything. And the reason why love stinks so much, because everybody between mid-February through mid-March is skunk mating season.
Yep.
Skunk mating season. I mean,
the skunks are getting romantic with each other.
They're getting frisky. And I think what it is, if you live, if you get a lot of woodland creatures hanging around in your yard, like we get a lot of woodland creatures because we live near a metro park, we get the deer, we get the fox,
we get the skunk,
squirrels, the chipmunks,
everybody.
Squirrels. I mean, and of course, we also get, the skunks, and one must have been living underneath or hanging out underneath one of the sheds in our backyard. And of course, Eddie, being Eddie and the dog that he is, had to investigate.
Had to check out the skunk.
Had to check. Oh my! It was the worst. I mean, we've had a few dogs in the past skunked, not as bad as this. I mean, he got direct hit, man, direct hit.
Well, when Ruprecht and Lucy got skunked,
it wasn't as bad.
We bathed them in tomato juice, and I remember Lucy was a white dog with black spots, and she was orange for the longest time after that. Ruprecht, he was orange before his tomato juice bath because that was just the color of him.
So the only thing I could say is because we jumped on it so quickly, and I had that concoction, I had everything in the house, and we were just able to jump on it right away. Helped him, and helped his temperament, because he would, like I said, if he couldn't have slept with us,
he'd have been a mess.
He would have been a mess. I mean, this dog, he's very
he's very attached to us.
Very attached. Very, he's very into the group love. Here goes.
So we don't let him go out at night anymore. But if he's got to go outside and it's dark out, I'll put him on a leash and take him out to make sure he doesn't.
Yeah, because
find the skunk again.
No, I couldn't. No, because Tuesday when we woke up, I mean, that stuff was stinging the eyes. It was just stinging the eyes because it was so.
Well, I mean, I hadn't bought the machine yet.
Right. I mean, that was one of those deals that you didn't care. You just got the credit card out. I want it, and I want it now. I mean, you were just like,
I have spent, between your car and this machine for the skunk, I have spent so much money. I don't carry a balance on my credit card, but I do, I'll pay it off like once a month, whatever the balance was, so I don't pay interest. I've had to pay off the card twice in between times where I'd normally paid it off, just so I could use it again. So I've been basically between, especially with her car.
Well,
by the time I get that done, I'm going to have a good amount of money sunk into it. But what am I going to do?
What are you going to do? Which reminds me.
What?
Okay. Besides, so the winter now has an F-. All righty. If everything that has been going on with us ever since the Sunday before New Year's Day, all that's been going on with us, him getting skunked, put the cherry on the icing of the cake.
I hope that was it. I hope that was the last unfortunate thing that happens this winter.
I mean, it's been one crazy thing after another crazy thing after another crazy thing after another crazy thing. I mean, he literally, guys, he never really does this. He took a nap on the couch. I mean, he literally fell asleep on the couch. I just let you be, because I figured you've been dealing with all this nasty stuff.
Yeah, I actually fell asleep on the couch.
It's been stressful for you. You fought 2 colds or 2 nasties, and it's been crazy. And we did. Yes, Lenny, we did. Finally,
so the adjuster came out and met with
Friday. That was Friday. Was it Thursday?
No, it wasn't Friday. It was Tuesday. It was the day after he got skunked. It was Tuesday.
Was it Tuesday? Yeah. Oh my God! See how the week flies by around here.
The adjuster wants to just put half a roof on, and the contractor, and they actually had the contractor go up on the roof and pull a shingle so they could try to match it. And we'll see how that goes. If they can get such a perfect match that they can get away with it, fine. But what winds up happening is they can't get a perfect dead nuts match, and they'll have to put a whole roof on the house anyway. So that's probably what's going to happen.
Over a month later, we had the adjuster.
Well, but that's it's not the adjuster's fault, and it's not the contractor's fault. It's the roof had been covered with snow for a month.
I know.
And then when it thawed out, everybody that had anything happen, needed the adjuster. So since my roof's not leaking, partially because I think it's the type of damage, and partially as my contractor came out here the next day and put up construction plastic.
Whatever you want to call it.
So I'm not in a hurry. I don't care if it's just like that till summer. It doesn't bother me a bit. I just want it so that when they start working on it, they can have like a whole week or whatever they need, where it's not going to rain, and they can do what they got to do and seal it back up.
So, yeah. Conkys been really, you have been burning the candle both ends with all that's been going on. I give you a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I give you such a credit.
What did you give me? We have a new state of the thing address here.
State of the peanut clusters.
Peanut clusters.
He got his peanut clusters.
Yep.
I found an hour to make him peanut clusters today.
And so I have
Peanut clusters.
This is the peanut clusters.
Mm-hmm.
This is the whole thing.
That's it.
This is all,
we've
okay.
already had some samples today.
So next week we're going to have a state of the peanut clusters, and we're going to see how many of these peanut clusters are left.
I think everybody already knows the answer. Everybody knows the answer.
What's the answer going to be? Are there going to be any peanut clusters left 7 days from now? I'll leave it to you guys to figure out. So they're already guessing. None, all gone.
I say gone by Monday, says Lenny. Yeah, you could be right about that.
What makes you think you're going to last that long?
Oh.
So I did film another, I'm going to call it a restoration video, but it's not really restoration. I took a
detailing video.
I took a die-cast toy, Toyota, whatever their full-size SUV is from like the 80s. And it was just completely filthy. And I took it all apart, cleaned it up, put it back together. And the idea is I'm going to release the video probably sometime next week. I'm going to give the video a week to run, and then that particular toy is going to be on our Whatnot auction as one of the lots. I'm going to try doing that, some more simple cleanup and detail videos. Even if I actually do a restoration, it might be a restoration on something smaller, something I can get done in a shorter amount of time, and then I'll sell it on my. We're just trying to raise money. I mean, that's all. This is just a shameless plug for.
Way too proud to beg.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Chewing on himself.
Yeah, he's chewing on himself. Oh, jeez.
So that's what I was up to today. I was working on editing that video.
Oh, I was
trying to at least give some sort of a video quality.
Yeah.
Before I release it.
This week's been crazy too. I mean, for me, I Wednesday, a good chunk of Wednesday was pretty much spent taking down boxes, large boxes, tons of boxes, because Whatnot has been successful of us. We have now all these empty boxes, and I had to get rid of them. So I tore down all these boxes. I had the back seat down in my Subaru, and I had it piled up with just boxes, and I was going to take it to the recycle center. So Thursday, I went to the recycle center to drop these. I mean, these are huge boxes. These are boxes you cannot get into that little can they give you for your recyclables. It wasn't going to happen. And the wind had kicked up, and it was like in the mid-20s. And there I am standing out there, shoving these boxes into the big bins that they have for all the cardboard and stuff. And the wind was knocking the boxes back in my face, and I was a wreck by the time I got home.
I wish I would have just been able to help you. Wednesday I had to go to like the middle of Pennsylvania.
This was Thursday. Thursday you did something.
Whatever day I went to Pennsylvania is the day that you took the boxes.
So that must have been.
Or no, the boxes sat in the car when I didn't.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Wednesday I loaded them up, and then Thursday I went and took them up. So it was Thursday, and I got home, and my sinuses were aching. Ugh, I had to lay down.
Yeah, I had to
do something to get rid of the pain. Take the Tylenol, lay down. I mean, but what else did you get back this week? Because I did that. Would you get back? You were complaining last Saturday on the show.
Well, I couldn't get to my tool. I have to go to where my tools are, and I have to reach over all these boxes to get to anything. And luckily, that's all cleared out now. I can move around there and do what I got to do.
Yeah. So basically, at this point, I went into the deep. I mean, we've been going into the deep vault, but I went into the deep vault, and I was able to pull out things I knew I could sell on Whatnot and put everything back in there that was his because last night I found this stuff upstairs. I found a lot of these handheld games, and I was showing them on whatnot, and then he started complaining. That's my stuff.
I wasn't complaining. I was just pointing out that you sold something that I bought to keep in my collection.
Yeah, then why is it in the room with all the stuff?
Well, it's in the house. I mean, I keep my stuff in the house.
Y'all have no idea. You all have no idea of how much space his stuff takes over.
Just stay out of my office when it comes to getting your whatnot.
Oh, honey, I don't go in your office. Are you kidding? That's the craziest room of them all. I do.
I've got.
No. I only went into your office for one thing today. One thing.
To chill the peanut clusters?
To chill the peanut cluster because you would not, because normally the patio room does not have heat in it, guys. So
it used to have its own furnace.
But it died.
It died, so we took it out.
Alrighty. So normally I would put the trays of peanut clusters in the patio room to harden. But I didn't think you would want that now with
the skunk smell.
With the skunk smell.
Oh, they don't really smell that bad in there now. I mean, it's dispersing.
Oh, my sinuses are doing a lot better now. I have been diagnosed with chronic sinusitis. And in fact, the last time I saw my sinus doctor, they prescribed me a special kind of spray that you use. It's pretty funny when you see me do it. Because they need to get that spray way back into those sinus cavities, okay? So you have to blow as you're pressing the medicine up your nose.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So, but I'm doing great. But it's, I'm always, when I'm always going to have, sinus headaches, all that, it's going to pop up every now and then. And I think just after being out in that extreme cold on Thursday, kind of did me in a little bit. But they are doing a lot better. It's just.
Well, you get to stay home. Well, no, you don't get to stay home tomorrow. You get to go to church and then stay home. Yeah,
I go to church tomorrow, and then our daughter was gonna come over last Sunday. We were gonna go out to dinner, but she last Sunday was not feeling well. So she's been fighting something too. But she's gonna come over tomorrow and go out and have our dinner.
We're gonna go out and have the dinner we were gonna have last week.
Yeah, we're gonna go out. Hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully, she's feeling better. I mean, I think I know one day this week. I think she had to take off because she was. It's just stuff's just flying around, guys. So take care of yourselves. Drink plenty of fluids and.
See, Lenny says Tuesday was just a test to see how your nose was working. That was the day that we wished our nose didn't work.
No. Somebody with no sense of smell would have smelled that.
Yeah. Well, your eyes would have still burned.
That was just nasty, guys. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That's nasty. Oh, and it's going to be lingering here for a little while. And all I kept thinking all week is, thinking of those summer mornings when I crank open that door and let the air come in. I crank open the kitchen windows and I let that air crank in. And I just so wanted to be able to do that.
Yeah, we want to smell earth again. Not skunk, but earth.
Just want to be able to do that. And you can't. Not this time of year. No way. So we were
stuck
swimming in it.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful you went out and got that machine. That really helped because the one we have upstairs, I mean, it was great. It was getting the smell out of the living room. It was kind of getting into the back room.
Well, it's like a whole house thing. It's designed to, work with the furnace and all that, and it goes through the air and all that. You set it for the size of the house you have, but no, this other thing we have is just a blaster.
It's skunk. That's one of the theories. It's probably one of the items they test their machines with. I mean, it's skunk. There's no other way to do it. No other way to do it. Just when we thought it couldn't get any crazier, folks. I think we've sat here last week hoping we'd have a nice quiet.
Yeah, didn't we? Yeah. No, 2 weeks ago it was really bad because that was when the trailer broke and all that. Oh, God. And I said next week I want to sit here, bored stiff at 8:15 with such an uneventful week, and it was. That week was sort of uneventful. Now we're back to this again.
I know we're just trying to hang in there, guys. We're like a month away from the first day of spring. We're just trying to hang in there.
So should we talk about the state of the bread?
State of the bread. Do you have bread?
I don't know.
Does Conky have bread?
We
What's
might
the
have
state
bread.
of bread.
Well, we're asking. I know what the state of the bread is, and so do you. But I don't want to give it away. We have to ask the 95 people here.
Oh boy, Christine's stuck. Oh, that's nasty. Yeah. Twice a month I'd visit the local nursing home and do a little bit of a service project there. And I was there this past Thursday saying hi to all my friends.
So people are saying Edward and Joanne both said half loaf.
Mm-hmm.
They're guessing half loaf.
Half loaf.
Lenny's not guessing. For
not
some
guessing.
We've got a gone and a half gone. One sandwich for each of you to have a grilled cheese sandwich. And Christine thinks it's baking now. Well, I would rather smell the smell of bread baking than some of the things I've smelled over the last few days anyway. So between Carrie and Mike, they say full loaf. One says 3/4 left and one says quarter loaf. But Jamie says full.
Well, Conky, it's
Baby
your bread.
Cornball thinks that Ed ate it. No, he did do that once.
One time.
It's been about a year now since he did that. That was about this time last year he did that.
Yeah, this dog. I mean, that visit to the vet was over $800.
$800 some dollars.
And then you spent a little over $500 on that machine today. This past week.
Thank you, Edward.
Thank you, Edward. Like I said, it was one of those.
Don't anybody ever don't let anybody ever tell you that dogs are cheap. They're not. They're expensive.
No, we don't do vacations. We have 2 dogs.
We have
2 dogs. And between medications and Roxy's on $200 a month of medications.
Yeah.
Eddie's still finishing up his medicine. That's what, from his little issue he had a couple weeks ago.
Oh, he still has some of that?
Yeah, the antibiotic. He takes one of those a day until they're gone.
So Baby Cornball thinks Ed ate it. Harvey says 3/4 left. Amy says quarter. And Doreen says full loaf. Shall we show them?
Go ahead. It's your bread. You give the state of it, my friend.
All right. Well, let's see the bread. I have not cut into the bread yet.
No.
It is a full loaf.
I just baked that this afternoon. Oh, that's how crazy it's been. I mean, we yesterday we were in the kitchen and he was getting ready to take off, but he goes, I can't have breakfast. I go, why can't you have breakfast? He goes, I have no bread. I said, why didn't you tell me? I would have made you some bread. I mean, that's how crazy he hasn't. I didn't know he was out of bread.
I was. But I didn't think I was going to have time to eat breakfast.
Anyway, you took
like
off.
The day I went to Pennsylvania, I didn't eat breakfast. I just grabbed some stuff and took with me. I had to stop in Youngstown or in Austintown, work on some gym equipment. And then I had to head to this place, Hollidaysville, Pennsylvania, wherever that is. And I didn't think it was that long of a drive. I mean, I looked at it and the place closed at 5 o'clock. And by the time I got out of where I was working, because that ran late, I was going to get there at 4:30. And so I had to move. Mm-hmm. And luckily I made up a little bit of time. I got there at 4:20, but then I got home at
8 something.
No, it was like 7:35 or something.
What time was it? What day was this?
It was Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, it was like really independent. And it wasn't like it was right off the interstate either. I had to do my fair share of back roads driving.
Oh, and then
dark, snowing,
And then yesterday, the weather. Okay, you had sold an elliptical.
Yes.
Elliptical that we had. Sometimes he gets machines that these gyms don't want anymore, but he can still tinker with them.
Well, usually it's because something's wrong with it and I can fix it, and then I resell the equipment.
So you and this guy have been trying for a few weeks now to connect, and of course you're waiting for a day when it's going to be dry.
Originally what I was going to do was I was going to put the machine in my enclosed trailer, drive it out to a meeting place where I was going to meet him. He was going to take trailer and all home, get it unloaded at his leisure, and then
give you a trailer back.
Then let me know I was going to go out and put it together and then take my trailer home. And when the trailer broke in half, any other plans would have been weather dependent. Mm-hmm. So we had a nice day, yesterday, where it wasn't raining or snowing. It was dry. It was sunny, and I spent the morning loading the thing. In the
It
back
was
of the
extremely
truck.
cold yesterday morning.
But it was cold.
It was so cold that I looked outside, saw him out there loading that thing on his truck, and it was cold. I just went, grabbed the kettle, put it on, got it all nice and hot for him. And he comes back into the house. I said, "You want a cup of hot chocolate?" Because he loves hot chocolate. And he goes, "Yeah, I'd love some hot chocolate." So I immediately put it together, and I went in and gave it to him. He goes, "Man, that was fast." I said, "Yeah, I had the kettle primed for you."
Edward said it was 70 here yesterday.
Oh, poor baby.
Edward, don't take this personal, but shut up.
I was happy. Well, today, okay. So because it just got crazy this week and he didn't have any bread, I told him last night, I said, "Okay, I'll get up in the morning and I'll run to the store and I will get you some bagels and cream cheese," which is the backup if we have no bread. And, I get up this morning and there's about half an inch of wet snow everywhere. And I'm looking out the window. I actually went, ugh.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to see when you look at the window in the morning.
So once I got a cup of coffee in me, I did pull it together to go out and get him some stuff so he could have breakfast. So we had a nice breakfast this morning.
I had my bagels and cream cheese.
Bagels and cream cheese. That's the backup. And then, of course, I baked him his bread, so he has that. But, yeah, I was happy that it was a little nerve-wracking, too, because when I left the house this morning, it was snowing, and by the time I came back, it was raining. I thought, "Oh no, we're not going to have one of these where it's going to rain and it's going to go right back down, and we're going to get another skein of ice on it."
God, I don't want that.
Don't need the ice, it's. Ugh.
Oh man.
But
well,
what are you gonna do?
I hate to cut this short, but my stomach is starting to bother me again.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I've had
sorry guys.
stomach issues all day.
Maybe you picked up what Donna had.
I might have. I don't know. I haven't seen Donna in a while. So.
Well, we're gonna sign off now, so Conky can. You guys just say a prayer that our road gets a little easier, straight for a little while. This crazy curvy stuff is just driving us nuts. And you guys take care of yourselves. Stay warm. We're gonna get through this. It'll be spring eventually. And you guys have a good night. We'll see you back here next Saturday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Conkys Flippin Adventures. Thank you guys for tuning in.
And don't forget our What Not Show Friday night.
What Not Show Friday night.
Good night.
Good night.